What's going on, everyone? You'll have to excuse me for being a little late today. I was busy writing a the most sickest ass college essay ever written in the history of essays ever. I mean, it was. Hold on. It was authentic. It was insightful. It was self-aggrandizing in the sense that, like, hey, I'm a good student. I'm a good asset for your institution. Got ads. Wait, hold on. Is the ads manager on? Probably the greatest college essay ever written, to be honest. Welcome back, Dino. Wait, hold on. Is it okay? The display capture wasn't on. If I told you, because I'm thinking about it now, if I told you that unfortunately, once again, I forgot to add the new emote. If I told you that, if that's what I said to you, would you react with this emote here? Would that be your reaction if I said that? It's great. It's beautiful. It's here. It's beautiful. It's here. The emote's here. I had to do some advanced cropping, but as you can see, it's legible. You can see it. And, you know, anytime we're playing Trailmakers, this is going to be our signature emote. Everyone's going to spam this when I'm playing Trailmakers. Those are the rules. Yeah, it's here. I also looked at the clip you made. It was pretty funny because it was like you just heard like aquatic sounds, or it sounded like Foley art. Like without the visuals, it was kind of like a Foley art sound effect. Like if a video game character was drinking out of a canteen or something like that. Speaking of my stream, then I'll get out of your skin. I don't think you need to get out of my skin. I'll look at your stream though. For a moment. Hold on. Playing Roblox. It's Roblox time. You're streaming me? You're streaming me, and I'm talking to myself? I can hear you. Alright. I mean, cool stream. Okay, I'm now tuning out of the stream. So you were streaming me. I could not have predicted this. You were in chat and asking me to look at your stream, and you were on my stream. I'm very surprised. No, I actually didn't. I didn't connect the dots there. So I guess that makes sense. I'm gonna play to someone's game. That sounds exciting. I don't know how I feel about the iron icon. See you later. Alright, Dino. Well, thanks for stopping in. Take care. Have fun with the playtesting. Good luck. Best wishes. Best regards. Sincerely. Your text here. Take care. Oh, the icons are very nice to look at, though. I enjoy my little collection. Yeah. Cool. Drinking red water today. Or it's like, pinkish, reddish. What are we going to be doing? We're going to... So I was thinking about the shader parameters and stuff. Like the temperature. We're still going to be working on like the chemistry shader stuff. But I was thinking the implementers only represent a single color. They don't have any color variation within them. And ideally we'd want to represent the individual radii of every single temperature point within the system. And in order to do that, we need some sort of code implementation or system to allow us to basically pass in an array of like floats or something in a value. And I figured if I'm going to do that for this system, I might as well make something reusable because it is a pretty universally useful thing. Like we could probably use this outside of just this system when it comes to like shader stuff. So today is mainly going to involve making just like basically an interface for using textures to store multiple parameters at once. And I'm trying to think of how that's going to map onto the tile thing, the tile version. I think we might just use a single value for those. Because otherwise, I mean, I guess we could have like a texture with like a varying size. We could do that. That is a thing we could do. Wait, I wonder if this could also work to just allow an infinite amount of layers. As many layers as we wanted. Practically infinite. Maybe. Let's see. Let me demonstrate the thing though. So if I add fire breath, which is what we're testing the particle effects on right now. I'm just looking at the upgrade menu, thinking about what I want to do to it at some point, but I mean it's a huge improvement from, well, I think we've innovated. We've innovated the gameplay. I'm happy with this new layout, and it's not entirely unpolished right now, but we do need to do some more polish. But I think this will look really cool once it's like fully implemented into the game. I need to make this look less like a laser and more of like a, I don't know, like a strand, like a loose strand with a bunch of smaller sub-strands in it. Death Stranding reference. Yeah, if I use the upgrade now, it's using the temperature of the fire we're emitting to specify the color of the flame. Now, a couple things. The flame should be hotter towards the center, so I feel like we're going to have to represent that somehow. Maybe we can we can account for that with the density a little bit. Oh no, but we are using the we're using the gradients on the CPU, so I don't know if we can do that. Oh, it'd be so cool if we can melt rocks. Technically, that should be possible with this system. Yeah. We'd probably convert it to either like a particle or an entity thing at that point. Probably an entity implementer, or like an entity. We might have to make another implementer because we don't necessarily want it to have rigid body physics. Although we could just turn collision off and then make it like, you know, static or whatever. That could work fine. But yeah, basically a couple things. So first of all, we want to be able to have hotter colors in the center of the flame here, which is not really what we're going to be focusing on today. But also we want, like if one part of the flame is hotter than another, I know it's kind of confusing. Let's say it's like a rock, for example. If we were trying to apply the shader onto a rock, it would turn it all one color. Whereas, you know, if we're using our fire breath only on this side, it should be only this side of the rock that's changing color. Or it should be changing color faster. And it should be getting hotter than, you know, the upper side. So in order to do that, we're going to need to represent, again, the individual temperature points. We already have a CPU system to represent localized temperature within a system. So now we kind of just have to add a way to represent that on the GPU. So that is the plan. I do wonder if we might be able to implement both of the things I just mentioned within this single system. I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, and also how's this implementation gonna work? I mean, I gotta think about how it's like arranged, right? We're going to treat all of the particles as a single system. So we can't do something where like we just specify the radius once and then do that for every single particle. No, it's gonna work differently than that. We could use a single shape that sort of applies across the entire thing. Maybe there's something we can do there. That would just kind of like create that effect. I guess we do want it to apply across all the different particles as opposed to on every single individual particle. We kind of want it to blend together in a way. So maybe that could be viable. But yeah, first we got to start off with the actual implementation for it. So this is probably going to be something we're going to add to. Why is there like nothing in this library folder? Okay, maybe I just haven't used it much. We're going to create a folder for this. What do we actually want to call this? Could call it. I don't know if I want to call it an array parameter. Hmm. Like if we use the temperature radius as an example, well, we need the position and the value, and probably a couple other things at some point. What would that look like? We'd have multiple points, so we could call it like a struct, but then it's also like we can have multiple structs, so it's kind of confusing. Uh, hmm. Okay, why don't we call it shader lookup parameter? Although the actual scripts I'll probably just call lookup parameters. We're gonna make this do I want to make it a ref counted or do I want to make it a resource? If I make it a resource, I might be able to export the parameter values. We don't really have to do that though. I suppose. How are we actually going to use it? All of it's probably, I mean, for in the case of the temperature radii, we're going to basically construct those at runtime anyways, so there's not really an immediate need to make it something we can export. So I'm not going to. Okay. Yeah, how are we going to do this? We need to like arrange the values or something. Can I use like shader structs at all for this? I wonder. I don't know. It's probably not how we'll end up doing it. Okay. I, I kind of have an idea. We're going to have something called set. Do I want to use it as a function? Hmm. Set value. index int what do we want the other one to be? Like that's gonna be, if we're thinking of these as structs, this is gonna be our actual struct index, and then you need something for like the field. I guess I could use field. And then the value, which will make a variant. Although we probably want to use floats for this. It's probably going to be a float thing, mainly. Um. Yeah, let's create an initialization function. Using the actual shader. And then the parameter name. Then we can go down here, we can say basically cache some of this stuff. We also want to create a texture. This is going to be like the way we actually store the values. An image texture. There's like another type that you actually use to write the values. I think it's just image. Yeah, okay. We'll just get both of these. We'll probably need them. Unless I want to try to access the image through the texture every time, which could be kind of annoying. Okay, image equals image dot creates. Oh, what would the size here be? Hmm. I guess we could specify it here. And then I'm thinking about like the different temperature points. We might have to resize it at some point. Okay, we'll call this initial size. We're gonna make this resizable. Totally not a bad idea. And we'll give it a default value of like vector 2. Honestly, let's say 1, 1. Okay. And then texture equals image texture. Create from image. And then can we say like texture updates? Okay, that takes in an image. Is there anything else I have to do with the actual image here? Let me look up like some documentation just to confirm I'm doing this the right way. Procedural image generation. Reddit, help me. Okay, I'm seeing procedural geometry. Okay, Godot create image through code. Better wording. Okay, here's the actual documentation for image. Does this have an example? None that I can see. Image texture. Load from file. That's loading from file, but you can create from image. I mean, we're probably doing it the right way. Stack Overflow. Image creates. We do have to set the format. Yeah, we're probably doing it fine. Don't want to. I guess we don't want to create empty. I guess we want to initialize it with some values. Use mipmaps. No. Image dot format r rf. That's probably what we want. Okay, we'll say if index is greater than image.size. What is get data size? I'm not sure. Dot x or field is greater than image get size dot y. Colon. Use the colon in GDScript. Image resize. What is resize to EO2? Is that like actually stretching the stuff? Maybe. Okay. Width will be image or index field. Okay, we got to do greater or equal to. There we go. Okay, this is actually like gonna stretch it out. So let me look at the actual image documentation and see if there's like any fancy function I can use. Yeah, let me check. Image crop. Can I reverse crop? Can I proc? Oh, okay. Crops the image to the given width and height. If the specified size is larger than the current size, the extra area is filled with black pixels. That is exactly what we want. Okay. Then we can say, well, you have to go down here. Texture.update using the image. Is this going to be like really slow? It could be, potentially. It's going to depend how often we set it. In part. Okay. So here we can say image.set pixel. Probably a little bit easier to use this one, I imagine. Index field color dot new. Okay, color value 0, 0, 0, because we really only have the red channel to work with here. That's too many channels. What format is that? Oh my god. That would actually be kind of helpful. If there was a 5-channel texture format that I could use. There might be. I don't know. You can do some like, you might be able to get away with like some bit-wise stuff and get like a bunch of different values. I don't know if that's, I don't know if it has that in, the shader language. Probably does. You could store like 2 16-bit values in a 32-bit value or like 4 8-bit values. Very hacky though. Anyways, this system is the best ever, so we're good. Yeah, so to get a value, pretty simple. Return the R value. Okay. So it's going to expand to whatever size we need. Kind of like a shader array. So this is the CPU side of things. Now we have to make the GPU part. So let me figure out what an include file is again really quick. Going to rediscover. Okay, chemistry, visualization, chemical utilities, volume. This is probably fine. We're gonna duplicate this. We're gonna call it. Oh god, I forget what it's even called. I was able to look at this thing. It reminded me. I wasn't lying. My memory is actually horrible. That's probably an oversimplification. I was mainly saying it because it's funny. I actually have the best memory ever. Why is the ads manager, why does it just turn into 2 hyphens? What the hell? Okay. Um how do we want to do this? Am I in the right thing right now? Okay, cool. Why is that conflicting? Okay, create lookup uniform. We're gonna give it a name. That might be all we need. Okay, uniform sampler 2D. Can we hide it from the whatever? That might be helpful. I guess repeat enable is fine. Definitely filter nearest. Hide. Okay. Let me look up the shader language because that's probably gonna be like important. Shading language. Excuse me. Okay, uniforms. Okay, we have different hints. Source color, range. Enum. Enum. What is the correct way to say it? How do the words work? What is a word? Global uniforms. Not what I'm looking for. I mean, I guess for now we could just have it exported. There's got to be a way to do this. How to hide uniform in inspector. How to hide shader uniform in inspector. Oh, that's sad. Very unfortunate. Dang. It's not a huge deal, but that is going to break up our organization a little bit. Going to break things up a little bit. Also, how's this even going to work in the first place? Do I potentially want to change the format of this also? Or add the ability to change the format? Because, like, in the case of the different colors, I could imagine it's, like, you know, different. Well, this should still work. Okay. And then we'll have a sample lookup uniform, name, index field. This will be... I think the function is just called texture. Texture lookup name. Okay, I guess I want to make like I want to make sure of that. Yeah, it's gonna be a little more involved than what I'm trying to do, I think. Chemical particle shader. Please don't talk to me right now. To mute the errors. I need some space. Please don't talk to me right now. What the hell? All right, I have an idea. It would be like sampler, texture size, texture sampler, level of detail 0. Okay, these are the components. These are the components we need. What? Okay, I'm gonna ignore this for now. Okay, I just forgot what the type we need is. Yeah, it's a vector 2, right? Okay. I don't have to worry about the bias. Okay, so we can say vector 2 index field divided by the texture size. That should be it. Yeah. Sample lookup uniform. It's pretty simple, all things considered. And then in chemical utilities, we will include... Oh my god. Resources slash library slash lookup parameter. Yep. And how do we want to do this? This is an emission texture. It's an actual emission. Wait, this might actually be the difficult part. I'm not sure. Do I want to replace the volume emission one, or do I want to, you know... Do I want to add on top of it? I guess we could add on top of it. Okay, create lookup uniform. Volume emission radii. That's how you spell it, right? Yeah. Index, does this work? I hope so. I hope this works. Does it need a semicolon? We've designed it so it doesn't, but I'm actually going to get rid of that. Wait. It's gonna be inconsistent if I don't do that. Okay, set that here. Create lookup uniform, volume emission radii index. Okay, we need a couple other things here. Get lookup size. Or how about we just call this lookup and then call this lookup size. Let me just return the texture size. There we go. Okay, let's go over here. For loops. It's time. It's time for the for loop magic. I'm very excited. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is like what we have to do. For now. We gotta think about how we want to format it too. We'll figure that out as we do it. I think it'll be fine. Okay, chemical utilities. Sample volume appearance. Okay, that gives us a volume appearance. Sample volume. Appearance.density, appearance.emission. And then there's sample volume appearance, which I guess converts all of this granular information into a single, like, usable value. So I'm thinking we want to add the actual sampling logic here. Indeed. We need to get the, okay, we basically have to go through all of them. So how do I do a for loop? Oh my god, for loops are so expensive. Oh no, I hope this, like, works. We're fine, we're fine. It was made for this. It was made for this. For loops are a thing you can do, okay? Alright. For ints, I'll just use I. I equals 0. I is less than lookup size. Oh god. I don't know. It's very sad. Volume layer parameters. Okay, I guess we need to add that here. Density, texture, density, emission, texture, emission. Shoot. Alright, I think we have to do this in another way. Lookup name index field, lookup target sampler, or how about just lookup sampler? Index field return, and then instead of this, we can use the actual sampler here. Divided by texture size, sampler 0. Okay. Why am I doing it like this? That should fix it. I guess we could also do lookup sampler size. It's kind of a very simple function, but we're just doing it for consistency. Also, again, what are you trying to am I trying to sabotage myself right now? What the hell? Okay. I is less than lookup sampler size. And then we need the actual parameters. This is a lot. Volume emission radii. guess we'll add it here. Emission radii. Should be fine. Volume layer parameters. Okay. Where do we pass this in? Invalid macro argument. Wrong. Chemical utilities, line 50. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Keep going. Emission radii. Seems really unnecessary. I++. Invalid arguments to operator. Vector 2. Okay, we need the y dimensions here. Okay, let's make sure there's nothing else here. Okay. Sample volume layer pass. That's what it's called. It's volume layer pass. We'll probably add something for the diffuse as well, like a radii parameter for the diffuse at some point. Chemical particle shader, chemical utilities. Pass. Where's the pass function? There it is. Okay, volume emission texture index, volume emission index, volume emission radii index. There we go. Unknown identifier and expression, volume emission radii 1. This is very sad. Sample volume, unknown identifier and expression, volume emission radii 1. Okay. Create lookup uniform volume emission radii 1. Might be adding some extra fancy stuff to this. Yeah, hold on. Create lookup. Okay. Okay. I see. We could either change the naming convention or we could have a get sampler or get lookup sampler. Get lookup, I guess. This is like kind of a pseudo interface with macros. Yeah, then we have to go to this or this, of course. Volume emission radii index. Okay, get lookup. Get lookup. Does it work? Oh my god, it does. Right now we're gonna go down here. We get the sampler size. How are we gonna do this? Okay, how are we gonna pass it in as an argument? I mean, I guess we're already using system coordinates, which is kind of like sphere-based or circle-based. Could like map that onto like a square or something, I guess. Get the distance of the UV. Maybe. Perhaps. Map the circle onto the UV. I don't know. Map circle onto square. Guys, okay. So there's like seltzer water, right? Which is kind of disgusting. It kind of has a disgusting taste, or at least I think so. Sparkling ice is like actually tastes like a thing, and you're not like overwhelmed by the like bitter taste of the other seltzer water. I don't know. It's very good. It has vitamins and antioxidants. Okay, it's 100% non-NGO, 100 all natural AI, zero sugar, zero carbs, zero anything. It's air. Natural colors and flavors from natural sources. It's a leaf, comes from leaves. Okay, it has a picture of a leaf on it. Good source of vitamins. It has bubbles. Everyone loves bubbles. It's 1% juice. Wait a minute. Oh my god, I thought it said, oh no. I almost found an error. So it says cheers, sip, recycle on the bottle, but I thought at first it said cheers, sir, recycle. I misread it. And I was about to say that's not very inclusive. But no, it's inclusive. It has everything, okay? Buy this flavor, buy this tasty water. Buy this fancy water, okay? God, it's like you can't just enjoy something for it being good without like this concession of like, yes, I'm falling for the marketing trap. Take my money, okay? Just take it. I need some semblance of an experience in this life. I've deemed it's worth it, okay? It's not because it's not like an even trade, right? It's not like, oh, you're giving me sparkling ice, I give you a sparkling ice or something like that. No, there's like a margin. Anyways, back to what we're actually working on. Look up sampler size.y. Yeah, so we'll start by getting the position, and this is how we like do this. Look up something. Look up sampler. Are you serious? Okay. Emission radii. And then we need start with this value for the current thing we're on. And then 0, of course. And now we just need the second axis. So like now we're actually seeing how syntactically good this is. It could be better. Could be better. That's all I'll say. Can I like unfold this? Why does it have to be 2 integers? What? No, it probably just doesn't work. I knew it. In fact, I actually knew it was wrong when I first wrote it. I just wanted to... I forced myself to forget through advanced meditation techniques, so I could have the satisfaction of solving the problem once again. So that is where we are. Valid arguments for the built-in function. Yes, that's true. That's a fair point. Wait, what the hell? No, I fixed it. No. Look up sampler. Did I save this? I think so. Lookup sampler, texture sampler, vector2 index field divided by texture size. Sampler 0 dot r. Lookup sampler, emission radii I0. It should work. I1, emission radii. Okay, this is a little bit annoying to debug. So we're using the red channel. What the hell? Lookup sampler. You know, it might have to do with the fact that we're using multiple lines. Hold on. Okay, I accidentally clicked Alt, or accidentally pressed Alt S. Yeah, let me do that for all of the single line ones. I don't even know if I need the backslashes. Why is it lagging? What are you doing right now? Does it need to, like, re-macro everything? It's not two integers. Is it getting mad because it thinks it's an integer? Is that what's happening? What's up, Dino? Thank you for the raid. What's up? What's up, Chucky? Welcome. How's the stream, Dino? Thank you for the follow, Chucky. Hold on. Sparkling ice break. It's time for sparkling ice. True. This is... Get out. This is true. Oh, wait. There's a bot. Oh. Hold on. It's fine. I'm handling the situation. Unfamiliar constrictor. More like... Unfamiliar constrictor. Boom, you're banned. Got him. Eternally shamed. Hold on, I gotta check something on my stream really quick. Oh my god, that's so true, Dino. One of the viewers of Dino Geek, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for the raid, Dino Geek. I don't know why the thing isn't updating. That reminds me of the bot. I got this Discord friend request the other day. And I look at the person's account, it's just completely random. And apparently it was another Twitch streamer with like 20 something thousand followers. I accept the request. We chat for a little bit, and then uh what happened? Oh yeah, at one point they said, "Would you like advice on how to grow your channel faster?" And I said, "Sure." And they said, "There's this advanced program. There's this course you can get, the virtual audience retention course, the GRCX, something like that you can get, and all you have to do is give them a small down payment, and they'll like boost your channel. They'll like do things to make your channel. They'll enhance viewer sustainability and retention and like all these stupid business terms that no one ever that are made up that don't actually mean anything. They don't mean anything. The words are just completely they're just random sounds that people make with their mouths. So they don't actually have any associated meaning. That's a joke. And then at one point I was getting suspicious. I was getting suspicious of the person. So I asked, "Did you see my Baldur's Gate 3 stream?" They said yes. I never did a Baldur's Gate 3 stream. Then I asked, "Did you see my GTA 6 stream?" And I don't know if it's like an AI or something that was speaking to me, but they said, "Yes, I saw your GTA 6 stream." And I was like, okay, well, this is obviously a scam. I don't know why they were posing specifically as that streamer, but you gotta keep your eyes out, okay? Your eyes open for these bots and these scammers and stuff. It's like, seriously though, who falls for any of this? Like with the bots or anything? Okay, I guess like maybe if you're like 8 years old and you're streaming on Twitch, which I don't think is even allowed, maybe, but I don't see anyone falling for this. It's kind of like commercials on TV. I don't understand. All right, we'll see you, Chucky. Thanks for stopping in. Dynamic Geek tested your game. That's cool. Some bot wanted to be friends on Fortnite. I haven't played it in like how long? Yeah. I guess it must work on some people because they keep doing it. If no one fell for the scams, they wouldn't keep doing the scams. And like the botting and stuff, which is also, leading to a scam. It's like, free viewers. Well, they might actually be offering like botted viewers. But they're both nefarious activities. Nefariousness. Because there are people who actually do view bot their streams, right? Okay. Invalid arguments for the built-in function vector to int int. Int int. Hmm. Hmm. I have no idea why it's not working. I will be real. They start off like, "Hey, insert too many emojis. Your stream is so cool. I love it. Want to be friends?" Yeah. Kind of disappointing. Kind of disappointing that it was just a bot as opposed to like an actual streamer, human being who was like interested in collaboration in the content I made. But look, that's the world we live in. Okay, everyone's detached. All right. The only interactions or concessions you can get in that regard is like through an economic vessel. Okay, it's all transactions, but like one-sided, which it just calls it's isolation. It's just that's like the theme of the current social paradigm right now, kind of. I don't know, I could be generalizing, but I don't think I don't think those sorts of things help it at all. like the cynical everything is a transaction kind of mindset, but like a one-sided transaction. Because you can define any like social interaction as a transaction technically. I don't want to just say there's something inherently wrong with transactions. Um, it's when they're one-sided and they're not actually like the interest isn't necessarily social. You know, it's like a facade. It's a facade. Like that probably isn't helping it, I'd imagine. Yeah, I don't know why this is supposedly counting as an integer. No. Lookup sampler. Okay, hold on. Texture. Turns of vector 4. Okay. Why was dot .r even working? Okay, never mind. This should work. I don't know why it's not working. Texture sampler. You have our coordinates here divided by texture size dot r. Why? Why are you doing this? Oh, you know what? Might have to do something like this. Might actually have to pass them in this way. Right? Oh my god, it's taking so long. This is awful. Lookup size. What about the rest of them? Okay, this one. Careful or quickly before it recompiles. Okay, okay. We won. Go over to the thing. What the hell? This is messed up. Why? Why is this the thing I'm getting stuck on? Why? I could have gotten done so much more if I didn't have to debug things. Lookup, get lookup, okay. Invalid arguments for the built-in function vector2 int. Is it saying that because we're passing in integers or because that's like the first overload you can choose from that the compiler is showing us? For lack of a better term. Compiler for lack of a better term. It's not necessarily the compiler itself. Could be some sort of like syntax tree system. Something. The Lexerizer or something like that. The lector. Invalid arguments for the built-in function. Okay, I keep reading the same shit over and over again. How funny would it be if I just like got rid of this parenthesis here and then added it back in and then it just fixed it? Okay. Yeah, I don't understand. Sorry, I was moving to different locations, so I was AFK. All good, Dino. Damn it. Damn it. Texture, the sampler, index, field. Okay, can I look up macros? Look at macros in the shading language. Seriously? Godot shading language macros. Come on. Come on. Shader preprocessor. Okay, this is lame. This is a scam. Material N. Brighten color. Okay, it's like you don't need it for every single one. Okay, so we don't need these backslashes if it's only a single line. That's one thing. I just want to say it's social media, not AI media for earlier convo. There's probably a cause before AI media specifically that is like the main driver of this, and it probably is closer to like just general like social media. Well, it's actually a good question. Why? Why are people more isolated now? It's a fair question. I mean, really, it does seem like social media and like just like phone and computer usage in general is a huge part of that. Oh, wait, there's an ad break. I'll be back in 3 minutes. This is a cop out. I'm not being made to think now. I'm doing a cop out. Yo, guys, I think I figured it out. I think I figured out the secret ingredient. I think. Hmm. Why would that do it, though? Why would that do it? If we're using integer coordinates, then it would be like integer-y, right? That's the problem here? Please. Please, God. No! No! Oh my goodness. So sad. Look up sampler. Okay. So, very sad. With AI slowly seeping into the world like a virus, it's hard to tell what's real. That's true. There's been a lot of videos that I've actually questioned, like, is this AI now? It's actually very concerning. Something that is real. What's real, Dino? What's real? What is real? Friends we made along the way. Which is not many, because no one's making friends anymore. The cake I made on mine. That's true. That's true. It's just, the AIs will never stop you from being able to make a cake on your own, okay? They don't want you to know this. The AIs will never stop you from going to your local library, okay? This could be a resurgence of library media, of traditional media. I don't know what the word for that would be. Insert collegiate term here. That'd be kind of cool if people actually like use libraries again, because they were just sitting there. It's probably a lot of information that's lost though between libraries and all the books that have ever been written, and just like the internet, what you can find on the internet. I made it with cake mix and Greek yogurt since I didn't have egg nor oil. And Greek yogurt. Cake mix or Greek yogurt. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could make it that way. It turned out it's so moist and soft when you eat it, no crumbs left behind. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna do a test here. We did do a test the moment. What if I try to use integers here? Are you serious? So it's probably just not giving the right value. Okay, what if we try using an individual value here? And I can use R, right? Wait, okay, what's the error here? Is it this? No, I don't know. Oh, you know what? Oh. See, you don't know exactly where it is. Index field. Really? Are you serious? This is messed up. We don't need these hashtags. Please. Okay. Please work. Go. Hurry up. We gotta outrun it. It's actually forcing me to be faster. And I made the icing myself. I added orange extract. Oh, that sounds really good. If I could send it to you, I gladly would. That sounds like a banger recipe. Sounds like a recipe for bangers. For a banger experience. Banger enjoyment experience. Okay. This has got to be the one. Oh, now this becomes a problem. Now you don't want me to divide by what is essentially the same type, except it uses integers. Wow. Wow. Shame. Everyone is pointing and laughing at the problem I'm facing right now. I made the cake because we got 2 new kittens that day. Oh, so it's kind of like a loose celebration sort of thing. That sounds like a good day. Sounds like a good day. You're not pointing? That's fair. That's fair. In fact, I'm seething right now at the problem I'm encountering. I'm at peace. You're doing the Master Oogway technique where you are peaceful or something. Like Master Oogway. What is this problem? It's just dumb like syntax stuff. And it's like harder to debug because I'm using macros, which basically add like steps in between what you're looking at and what the errors are representing. Yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, but today's a gift. That's why it's called the present. That's so true. So true. Today's a gift. Tomorrow is a gift. Tomorrow's a mystery actually. As we all know. What about the next today? You know, time could be going in a circle. This could all loop. Could do a loop. We could be like this, you know, that could be time. Me when I figure out time is a circle. It works for everything. You can just do this for I baked a cake today. Oh no, it doesn't really work. Thank you for the hydrate. I should have like I'm trying to think of like the most inhumane thing possible. I should get like a hamster wheel, a human-sized hamster wheel, and have like a redeem that's like 30 seconds on the hamster wheel, run. I should have monkey bars, and then it's like you redeem it, and it's like go across the monkey bars. Eat a banana while holding from one hand. AI PK. I'm just thinking of a Vine boom for every emoji. That's true. What if there was an animated version of the you could do like the rotoscoping technique or whatever. You could do like what what's his face does. Joe Haver with the you draw the image and then you like make it move a couple frames automatically and then you draw another frame. You could animate the meme. Wait, is there even a video of the original meme? I don't know. I'm not sure. You could make an animation though. You don't have to use a video reference for that. I'm not saying you need to make an animation. I'm just saying that what if someone did that? I'm not saying donate $1 million. I'm just saying what if? What if someone did that? I made a video and posted it. True, exactly. I just jumped out of the battle bus in Fortnite. Boom. Boom. You can use it for anything. Use it for anything. People still play Fortnite? Yes, of course. What if I owned a rocket launcher? Exactly. What if I'm trying to think of something. I don't know. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Wait, maybe. I don't know. But I did make the video and posted it on my YouTube. Oh, I see. Oh, the video. Yes, of course. I'll have to look at that at some point. Okay, why isn't this working? It's making me angry. I'm angry right now. This seems to be working though. Okay, radii position. Then we'll get a float. Radii, size. Maybe I should call them points. Doesn't make as much sense. Lookup sampler, emission radii. He was so fiberglassed. Inside joke. I see. Inside joke moment. Inside joke. We need semicolons. Yes. Position, size, and then radii color. And we need 3 more. 3, 4, oh my god. 5. This is so much. Wait. We've been saved. I really hate how it has to like recompile every time I make a change. Can I like adjust the timer for that or something? Invalid assignment of vector 3 to float. Lies. See, this is what I mean. That was a vector 3 the whole time. Okay, this right here, this is vector 3 whole time. Me and my friend were watching a movie, and instead of saying he's flabbergasted, I said he's fiberglassed. Sounds like the origins of a good inside joke movie. I see. Wait a minute. You're using an apostrophe to correct a spelling mistake. And usually you'll use square brackets or like curly brackets or something when denoting an action or something like that, like in a role-playing context. Okay, because usually I use an asterisk. Like if I say, I love pizza, or I love ice cream. Oh my god. Like I misspell it like this. Oh my god. There we go. Like if I do that and then I do this. Ice cream. I see. Both asterisk and square bracket. But what did you mean to do an apostrophe there? I'm intrigued. Like when you typed movie and then you put an apostrophe. Is that another way to do it? I don't know. I don't know the rules. I don't know the rules here. Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll say emission sample for now equals mix emission sample radii color, and then we'll say radii dot size minus oh my god, it's the world UV. There are normal UV we can use somewhere, maybe? There is distance from UV to radii. Position. Let's tell me about the world UV. Oh yeah. I do asterisk and for movement or something like that. Okay, but when you typed movie, you put an apostrophe. Did you mean to put an asterisk? Or did you put an apostrophe for intentionally? I do asterisk and movement or something like that. Like you put this here. This is what you put. You do that for correcting words? Oh my god. Wait, so you do asterisk for actions, brackets for movement, and then apostrophes for correcting words. I see. This is typically how I do it. I do like jumps. I'm epic. And the jump was really freaking cool. But then I realized, oh no, I made a typo, so I say freaking. So I'm using asterisk for the action and the correction. And then I would use an apostrophe to symbolize that it's a oh my god, what's the phrase? What's the word for that? It's like not slang, or it's abbreviated. I don't know. Conjunctifier, conjoined word. I don't know. I think it's doesn't matter. These asterisk and square brackets for action, indoor background things. I see. Because I remember you said the square bracket thing came from Roblox, so I'm interested how it all works. We have. Yes, you said that. That is what you said before. But I've never seen the or I've never noticed the apostrophe usage before. Or we've never talked about that. Okay, I'm also gonna add max here so we don't get something that's like below 0. Subnautica reference. All right, well that should do it. That should be the way for it to work. Do I want to try doing this today? Do I want to try testing this today? Maybe we can test it really quick. System visualizer. Okay, let me just make sure I don't have any errors, first of all. I picked up the bracket thing from how others do actions in roleplay. Yeah. Yeah, I remember you said that before. What about parentheses? How do you use parentheses? I'm not even sure what the term is for when you use parentheses and put something in the parentheses. Typically when I use them, I'll say like, it adds like context or something. So it would be like, I like I like to use chapstick, and then in parentheses you could say like Burt's Bees to specify the exact type. It's like something you implicit or something like that. Some people do things like jump. Oh my god, that's too much. It doesn't actually matter if you do it that way, but I'm just gonna say that it's too much. So much for me. I like the more simpler. Yeah. I feel like that's the adding emojis into your Discord name equivalents of denoting a roleplay action. Like it's very aesthetic oriented. It'd be funny if someone used emojis to mark the beginning of a roleplay action. I mean, in terms of readability, it could actually work pretty well. But if it's not like automated anyway, you have to like type the emoji every single time. It'd be very difficult. Difficult to do unless you had it in your clipboard. But then you couldn't use the clipboard. Then it would be like reserved for the thing you're doing. All right, let's see if this still works. Okay, it does. It froze for a second, so I was scared. Okay, now, why do I keep making that face? I like to do simple things like jump, 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 and jump. I just don't do some of them a lot. I see. Yeah, for me, every single one of those would just be like this. Sometimes I don't even use a closing asterisk. I'll just like do that. I guess it's like you know, you can kind of there are some things that aren't like super standardized yet in the English language or like with typing that you can kind of like have some flexibility on and, people will still generally understand what you mean. Got that jump. Oh, I see. All right, we're gonna LD, that's that layer parameter, volume emission. Yeah, we're gonna make a new um what is it called? I keep forgetting. Oh my god. Okay. Lookup param equals lookup parameter dot new. Material is material. Parameter name. Oh no. Oh my god. This is so sad. I forget what the I forget what the parameter is even called. I think we should do the same thing that we use in the shader. So come on. Visualization. Chemical particle shader. Then we go to chemical utilities. Volume emission radii 1. That is going to be the one. And then initial size. How many things were we using? How many indices do we have? 5. So the initial size would probably be like vector 2 int 6 1 or 1 6. Okay, we do need to add a little more here. So we're gonna say material dot set shader parameter name. Wait. Lookup underscore plus parameter name to image. Okay. And this should work completely now, I think. I hope. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? It still allow us to use duplicates? No, I don't think we'll be able to just duplicate the same material over and over again. We're going to need individual materials. It's going to increase the draw calls a little bit. Oh well. It's time. We're only going to have, like, we're probably not going to have more than, like, 10 different freaking particle material, or, particle effects on screen at once. I mean, 10 at once is going to be, like, crazy. So that's like 10 shaders, 10 draw calls for that. That shouldn't be too bad. Like, we wouldn't have the space to show much more than that. I mean, they could be layered over top one another, but in terms of like normal gameplay, you're not going to encounter much more than that. Okay. Let's go back to the visualizer, system visualizer. Look up parameter dot set value. Is there any way I could like set the values betterly? Okay, we'll just do it like this for now. Index 0, field 0. Now we gotta specify all these parameters manually. Oh my god. We might want a way to like create a blueprint or something like that. Some way to like correlate the indices to different names. Okay, we're gonna set the position to 0.5. See, this is like really bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the position. The size, we'll keep that as 0.5 as well. In terms of the actual emission, we're gonna do like a crazy value. It'd be crazy. In fact, I'll make it a little bit more like red. It'll be green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be the setup. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Have you ever just wanted a working mini kitchen to cook mini things? Yes, but at this point, I would say I'd prefer just like a normal sized kitchen to cook normal sized things. Probably what I'd prefer at this point, but I definitely get the appeal. You know, I've actually wanted to make games before where you manage a kitchen, but it's like kind of a sandbox fun kind of game. So like not very serious, kind of like a goofy game, but like very intriguing sandbox mechanics and stuff. Um City skylines management sort of thing. Yeah, it was going to be pretty fun. It will be pretty fun if I ever make it. At first I was going to use voxel based food so you could like chop it up and actually make dishes with like structures and stuff, actual structure. Um, as opposed to like every other cooking simulator out there where you're just following pre-made instructions. Which I don't find very satisfying. But instead of using voxels, it might be better to actually do like mesh slicing calculations. Way better. Reminds me of a game I've seen called One Armed Cook. There was something. Oh, that sounds interesting. Because I'm actually looking for games that would do that. Um, there was this mobile game called Toka Kitchen, and you were actually able to slice the food and stuff and like assemble dishes in that way, but it was very simple. Like it was not. It didn't have any real like management aspects or anything like that. I want to like make a game that's more advanced or like has more features, more functionality. Okay, how does this look? I don't see anything. I don't see anything happening here right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, you couldn't hear that, but my eardrums just exploded. Very sad. Are we getting any errors here? Okay. Lookup parameter dot set value. Lookup parameter. I don't know if it's working or not. Okay, why don't we just say emission sample equals radii color. What? What the hell? Oh. That is funny. Here we go. We're not getting any errors pertaining to this system. So, let's see. Let's just see if we can set the color. So it should be like basically white or like a very bright red. Hmm. Is it not setting the values? What the frick? What the frick do you mean right now? Okay, well, we have kind of a approach in mind here. I guess it's just not setting the values for whatever reason. I'm assuming they're all defaulting to 0 or something like that. So lookup parameter. It might have something to do with this. Please. Okay. Is it being done the same way here? It looks like it. Yeah. Okay. Lookup parameter name. Image. Is the parameter name correct? Volume emission radii 1. Volume emission radii index. Volume emission radii 1. It should work. Yeah. 1, 6. Those are the dimensions. Set value. That be what's messing it up? If index is greater than image.getSize.x. Okay. That should be fine. Image set pixel index field color. Console.debug or console.print new line. What if we could display images in the console? That would be kind of cool, right? Taste the sparkles. Two feet arguments for print new line. Wrong. Hold on. Value. Let's print index. Can we do this? No, not really. Hold on. Oh my god. Something weird just happened? What happened, Dino? What is it? What happened? Like, as long as I set it as a parameter, I don't have to, like, keep setting it as a parameter, do I? I hope not. I mean, I can do that if need be, but I, like, shouldn't have to. I'm already updating the shader. Suddenly got a wave of dizziness and it's going a little. Did you stand up? Did you become dizzy as you stood up? Or did you just get random dizziness? No. Sometimes things like that will happen to me. Laying down. Sometimes that kind of stuff just happens for, like, non-medically bad reasons. Oh my god. Whoa. Oh, okay. Nan. Of course. Of course. Tilt my head. I tilt my head at some because I'm on my side. I see, I see. Are we properly setting the pixel? Godot texture.update does not update shader uniform. What the hell? I didn't actually type that. Set shader parameter. Dang it. No. No. Why? See, I don't know if it's going to be the texture that's a problem or something like that. Let me look up image set pixel. Could be something up with that, actually. Set pixel. No, it's, it looks like it's fine. What the hell? You know what? It could be the format. RGB A8. Let's just try that for now. We'll just try that. It could just be the format, actually. Like R float might not necessarily be supported by shaders. Or it may not work. It bad, basically. No, still doesn't work. Okay. Damn it. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's causing this. Um. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Console dot singleton. What is the singleton? Oh, interesting. Code edit, label, code edit, label. Okay, it's color rect. Oh god, where was I? Okay, singleton dot. Hold on. I wonder if this will work, like at all. Vector 2. And then image dot scale or stretch mode equals stretch mode stretch scale. Is this gonna do anything? Run the project. I'm just adding a node to my console. Stupid. Okay, wait. Now's our moment. Now's our chance. What? Oh my goodness. Okay, it should be doing something here. Should be doing. That is really loud. That is really, really loud. Yeah, it's like it's just not doing anything. Now, I guess it's possible that we aren't setting the shader parameter correctly. Let me try something. Console.print new line material dot parameter get shader parameter. Oh, okay. All right. Had to set it to the texture. Okay. It's kind of cool. I think I want to add image debugging capabilities to the console as well. Why not? You can just do that. We don't have to restrict ourselves to just text. I mean, the console could be a beautiful, polished creation for debugging anything. Be user-friendly. Whoa, okay, not exactly what I meant to do, but, you know, it's doing something. I really hate the sound of this. Did we accidentally add more green or something? Is that why? I feel like it wouldn't be this intense. Anyways, yeah, I'll get rid of that for now. Let me go back to the system visualizer. RGB. RGB. Wonder why it's not working. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Why is it green? Why is it green? Okay, well let's get rid of this line. So we're actually using the radius. Maybe it'll look more intriguing that way. Get a little more information, perhaps. Why is it green? Is it messing up the ordering? Damn it. It could be like offset by a pixel. One day I'll learn how to code just a little. You'll get there if you want to learn. If you want to learn, you'll figure it out. It actually took me a while to actually really start learning how to program. I didn't really start. I mean, I did some stuff when I was like from the age of 10 to 12, but I didn't really start doing it. I didn't feel like I became very competent at programming until I was maybe like 15. Like 14 to 16, somewhere within there. Okay, it's really not. It's not working. So it's kind of telling me that it's like lagging behind. Or maybe it's like it's going forward. Or I don't know. I don't really know. Let it be 2320. So it might be lagging behind. Yeah. Like what if I just used this value? Just that value there, and then kept the rest at 0. So it should be red, right? Just purely red. It's probably not going to change the color that much. Or it'll be like wrong. It's still green. Okay, it's very green. It really wants to be green for some reason. Why? I don't understand. What? We're using the max function there. This is silly. Yeah, it likes to be green. What the hell? Yes, this is very lizard. Okay, you know what? It could still be offset. It could still be offset or something. So the offsets. Let me try this instead. Let's just try no values. It can't be getting this value from anywhere. If it is, it's like bullshitting. It's just a bunch of bullshit if it works. Green album. The green album. Wait, is that even what that is? I don't know. The blue album. The green album. Okay. So now it's just like fading away. That's so true, Dino. It seems like it just faded the color out a little bit. Okay, so what does this mean? It means when we're sampling 4, it actually samples 3. Why? I think I know what we have to do. I think I know the secret ingredient. Secret ingredient here. First of all, okay, are we using sample nearest or filter nearest? Yes, we are. Lookup sampler index field divided by texture size sampler 0. Crap. Float index field. Yes. Yes. Vector 2. Okay. This is kind of crazy. Kind of insane right now. Plus vector 2 1 1 or 0.5. That should do it, I think. 0.5, 0.5 divided by this again. may not be the most performant way to do this. It's definitely not the nicest looking way to do this. But we will try. We're going to try. So we're just adding a slight offset in the sampling to make sure we're sampling in the center of the pixel, so it's not like offsetting it by 1 or something like that. Which I still don't know if that's actually happening, to be honest. But let's see. Let's see if this changes anything. It's definitely different. Hold on. What if I make it red? I'm gonna make it red. So it should be 3000 now. It should be completely red if this works. Or do we need to subtract? Do we need to subtract from the value? I mean, before it was like... We might need to subtract... I don't know. I have no idea. No idea. I don't know what's happening, guys. I don't know what the hell's going on. Let's try this. Whoa, that's pretty red. It's pretty red. My ears are hurting. Okay. So it might be working now. At least well enough. So can we make it cooler? Look more cool? 0.5, 0.5. And the distance is also... Let's make the distance like 0.2, or the radius is 0.2. Definitely want a smaller distance. For testing purposes. True, Dino. It's true. This might be it. This might be the one. Oh my god. Look, the center is glowier. The center is... Oh, it's very loud. The center is very glowy and cool. Alright, well, I think we freaking did it. If I want, I can, like, here. I can do a better demonstration. I can sort of, Here, let me turn it down a little more. Let me make it blue. Blue. Make it bluer. So it's blue in the center. Who's your first viewer? Is it Redstone? No, my first viewer might be, Piper Luna. They don't watch the stream that often, though. Or is it double, triple kill? I don't remember. Whoa, it's not working. It's not working, guys. My plan is not working. It does look pretty cool, though. The effect, whatever we're doing right now. It looks cool. Okay. How about 4? We just want blue. That's all we want. We just want pure blue. Matte, do. I see. You can, I don't know if you know this, but you can look at your followers list and see who your first follower is, at least. No! 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 It's not working. Should I increase the radius again? Why? Why are you doing this? What actually, or what is the actual logic we're using here? 3, 4, 5. Okay. Radii size minus that. Radii color, emission sample, emission texture, world UV, dot RGB. Emission sample times emission times distance multiplier. Okay. Okay. That are you. I see. Oh my god. Why? Why are you doing this? Hmm. 3, 4, 5. It's definitely not working. Time is it for you? It's 10:12 p.m. I'm going to end stream soon. Quite soon. Radii size, radii position. Yeah, I don't know. This is lame. This is really lame and stuff. Huh. Let's be close then. Indeed. Wait. Wait. My dreams. My dreams are coming true. Hold on. System visualizer. Volume emission. Emission sample times emission. We're multiplying it by the emission, guys. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes, indeed, Dino. It's very extremely lame. Density sampled. Okay, so that's just a density texture. We gotta like think of this differently. Ooh, hold on. Hold on. Yeah, why don't we just adjust the emission directly, if that'll work. Yes. Yes. That's actually the more correct algorithm. Became making dreams true. Next, Willy Wonka convert. Indeed. I'm like Mr. Beast. I'm like the Mr. Freaking Beast of gaming, of game developing. I don't know. Whoa! Oh my god! Oh, I'm so enthusiastic. Mr. Blast or Mr. Bass, Mr. Blast. Real name, by the way. That's his real name. Mr. Freaking Beast. Exactly. Mr. Blast. Mr. Blast. What is that? I don't know what that emote is. Someone sent it before. I felt uncultured not knowing what it is. Mr. Blast. Oh my god. Mr. Blast. It does look pretty cool. I think we can make it look a little bit cooler before I end the stream. That's gotta be a new inside joke. Mr. Blast. Uh it's funny. Why is it sounds so stupid? I don't know why. Some things are just funny like that for some reason. I don't know why. Mr. Blast. Alright, hold on. We gotta test this. What? I mean, it looks cool. That's pretty cool. It like fades out differently because the values are different. Whoa. Mr. Blast. The rise of Mr. Blast. Okay. Hold on. Let's set the radius to 0.1. Yeah, I am. It kind of looks like I mean, there's so many things you can represent with the system now. It's really freaking awesome. Although, I mean, we might have to change like the way the UVs are mapped because right now it's doing it per particle, which we don't necessarily want. It's pretty cool. Yeah, they're like little plasma balls. Can I make it subtractive? I don't know. I could make it hollow in the middle if I set it to 0. Like I could have a ring. It would look like a ring of fire. That'd be pretty cool. Let me see if I can do that. Here, bump this up a little bit. Yeah, that would look sick. Hold on. We could add maybe another value to switch between the kind of UV thing we're using. More values. Okay, let's see. Doesn't really work that well. I mean, kinda. It's just the other particles are like interfering with the effect, I think. But it kind of works. You can kind of see it. You blast fire at a rock long enough, turns to lava. I was actually talking about that exact thing earlier, and I was saying, yes, I would like to add the ability to melt rocks. But your fire has to be hot enough, of course. Like, it's going to be based on the chemistry engine. Like, if you can upgrade your fire to be hot enough, then you can melt rocks. And maybe, you know, depending on how elements are unlocked, that could then unlock the lava element. That could be one way to unlock the lava element. I do like the idea of upgrade orbs that you can throw into elements to unlock new ones. I made fire hot. Well, that's kind of what this whole thing is. Part of it is I'm trying to make fire hot. People keep telling me that's something that fire is. So, trying to make it, you know, consistent in that regard. Okay, what if I set the position to like 0, like the top left? Or it's either the top left or the bottom left. And then I made it like, what is RNG? What does that make? I don't know. Yellow, maybe? Or fire's too cold, we need hot fire. It's true. Okay, what's it gonna look like? What's it gonna look like? Hold on. We're just giving ourselves more tools for the chemistry engine with all this stuff right now. I'm not noticing anything. Not cool enough. Hold on. What if we just made it look like actual fire? Oh yeah, the distance is probably too low for what I was just trying to do. Yeah, let's see, like 20, 20, 20, and then we'll set this to like 25, 22. So it's gonna be mainly just white. It's gonna be kind of red, orangish red, kinda orangish reddish white. Reminds me of the one time I used hand sanitizer on my hand and it lit on fire. It was lighting fire. Oh my god. Sometimes I forget that alcohol is flammable. Whoa! It's way too bright. That's crazy. It was freaking awesome. Indeed, indeed. Well, it's not awesome, but I know what you mean. Unless it was like unless it was controlled like a science experiment or something and you were like not harmed or anything like that. I don't know. I don't know if that's what happened or not. Okay, maybe this is going to be a more reasonable value. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Okay. Like, that's better, I guess. I don't know. It sucks. Whatever. Moving on. We're moving on. No, hold on. One more 0.3. That's kind of crazy. How about 0.15? Then the hand sanitizer dripped under my hand, then burned me because only one side had sanitizer on. I see. I should have water running just in case. Is this just something you did like randomly? Okay, well that kind of works. I was fine. Okay, well that's good. Anyways, this kind of looks like fire. Once we actually add more functionality to this, it'll look better. Did it randomly. Oh my god. That could have been really bad. Were you not scared to light your hand on fire? This looks pretty cool though. I'm probably gonna end it here. I was home alone on a call with my friend. I was dumb. I've been there. I've been there. Okay, you know, I know what that's like. I know what that's like. Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream now. At least you have a story. You have a story. You might actually be able to do that in like a controlled way. That's cool. I would not recommend it. Do not try this at home. But if you use like the gel that they use for like stunt men, like the gel, and then you have the sanitizer on top of that, or something, or just anything flammable. But yeah. All right, I'm going to end the stream here. The gel, indeed. Thank you everyone who stopped in. Thank you, Dino Geek. Thank you, Chucky. Yeah. I'll be live again on Wednesday. Until then, take care. See you later. And, yeah, it was a good stream. Got some good stuff done. All right, see you later, guys. Take care. Mr. Blast! Mr. Blastables. Missed by the new Mr.